Hey folks, C Squared here. If you've watched any of my videos in the last couple of months, you've probably seen that I've gotten into this drone thing, trying to expand my photography and videography with using drones and using the Phantom 4 Pro Plus in particular. And I really love that drone. The thing is, I got it used from one of the big retailers here, and it appeared to be in fantastic shape. However, right out of the gate, I noticed the gimbal was a little bit glitchy. It would kind of lose the ability to stabilize in terms of the yaw control, like the yaw motor was a little funky. But right after I got it, it acted up probably about the second or third time I flew it, and I spent a day or so kind of messing with it, tweaking these settings and recalibrating things and doing all the stuff they tell you to do without actually doing any kind of physical repairs. And it seemed to kind of clear up. However, the gimbal was always off center, so it made me kind of wonder if maybe someone had repaired that gimbal before and somehow they didn't put the original centering magnet housing back in it, or however that works in there that makes it center. They say that has to be calibrated and done correctly at the factory, and then anytime you replace any of that stuff, it doesn't really line up right. So anyway, it was always a little off center, and I don't know if maybe the yaw motor was always trying to fight itself with that. It would never really stay reliable. It got where it was better and I could use it, and I was thinking, well, maybe it's okay, maybe they're all like this or something. But then a couple of weeks ago, I was out flying it with my friend Daniel. He was using his Mavic Air and I was using the Phantom 4 Pro, and I had been flying it for a couple of batteries worth, and towards the end I was like, I want to do a little practice thing where I'm going to go around this little light pole and just practice doing a little rotation around it. And just at that time, it just quit. The yaw motor control just quit completely, and I kept just getting that yaw or just a gimbal motor overload indication on the screen. And there was just nothing it just wouldn't respond at all. It would never even try to catch itself anymore. It was just banging from one side to the other of the extremes of how far the gimbal would go, and just was terrible and unusable. So I thought, well, maybe I can just try to recalibrate it and try to mess with the yaw control, and it'll come back into play like it did before. But nope, it didn't ever work again. So thankfully, it was just within the window of the available return time from the retailer, so I was able to send it back, and I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that. Hopefully they're going to give me the full refund so I can apply that money and probably just get a new one, because I really love the Phantom 4 Pro. Especially I love the built-in screen on the Plus model and all that, so I hope I can get a version 2 or something. But anyway, in the meantime, Daniel was kind enough to let me borrow his Mavic Air, and this thing is so much fun. It's so cool. It's got a really good camera in it. It does shoot 4K. I'm sure everybody out there is real familiar with this drone by now. Funny, it's so new. Daniel just got this like a month or so ago, and it still has all the stickers on it. As you can see, the little protective stickers that come on there and little indications and whatnot, they're all still on the body and everything. So it's kind of funny to me because I don't normally like to leave anything on there like that, but it shows how new this thing is, and he trusted me with it, so I really appreciate that. I guess if Ken Heron were to see this drone, he'd freak out because of all the stickers on it, but his buddy Dana would be cool with it. It would be proud that they were left on there. Anyway, so it's been cool to use this little drone, and it's a lot different to me right out of the gate. It feels different, like, to fly it. Strangely, the Phantom 4 seemed a little bit quicker in some ways, like ascending and descending in the normal modes, but it's actually real responsive, and I love the way the controller actually feels. The sticks on this, they have a real nice sort of solid feel to them. And obviously everybody's familiar with how cool it is that these things fold up so small, and you could pack this in with all the rest of your camera gear and get around really easily. So it's really cool about that. The only trick is to remember what order to fold everything. So I think it's front legs first. Get them in there, get everything lined up, and then swing those back legs under like that. So yeah, kind of weird, trippy. But it does come together, and once it's in this little tiny form factor like this, this is a Phantom 4 Pro battery, and compare that, it's hilarious that it's not a whole lot bigger than just the battery from the Phantom. So anyway, that makes this super convenient. I have really enjoyed flying it. So I think it's been a great experience flying it. It's been real fun. It's been kind of fun to experience flying a smaller drone, because really until Daniel got this, I'd never even tried anything but my Phantom 4 Pro that I just gotten. So I don't have a lot of experience with them, but now I at least have a little marginal experience with the Mavic Air and the Phantom 4 Pro. And they're both really awesome. It's really cool. Depends on what you need them for. So this isn't really a review to tell you what to do about getting anything, but I'm kind of just singing the praises of both of them for different purposes. So I shot some footage just the first day of messing around with it. I'll just show this right now. Just a little quick set of clips from the first time I flew the Mavic Air. Flying your drone. Alright, I hope you enjoyed seeing that little bit of footage from the Mavic Air. I really do enjoy it, and it does make me kind of want to also have a folding drone in addition to the Phantom 4 Pro. So I intend to get another Phantom 4 Pro simply because I am really a big fan of that built-in screen that you can get with the Plus model. And I also like that you can have the full 4K DCI 4K if you need it, and you can also have 60 frames per second in 4K, and of course the 1-inch sensor, which now the Mavic 2 Pro also has that, and it does make me consider that drone. I just haven't really felt like I could give up the idea of having 60 frames per second in 4K, because I do like that remarkably sharp look that you can get, not for cinematic or movie looking footage, but for just like real high detail type stuff. And also it gives you that little bit of extra leeway for slowing the footage down if you want to, or taking a still frame out of a video and having a pretty high resolution for that. And also, if it's 60 frames per second, you'll be able to get some sharpness, because if you're doing, say, your 180-degree shutter angle, then you're going to have at least 120th of a second shutter speed, if not higher. So if you're up a little bit and you're not too terribly close to your subject, then you should have some pretty sharp images, even if the drone was moving when you take that screenshot. So anyway, those are a couple of things that I really like about the Phantom 4 Pro. And while the Mavic 2 has the 1-inch sensor, it doesn't have the DCI 4K to my understanding, and it also does not have 4K 60 frames per second. I think it maxes out at 30. So anyway, a couple of things that I really like, and the availability of a built-in screen just makes it really quick to set up, and you don't have to worry about having another cable to plug something in and all that. So that's just a few thoughts I'm having on the Phantom 4 Pro. I definitely want to get another one, and the idea that the folding drones are just becoming so amazing now that maybe there'll be one of those in my future at some point too. Not next week or anything, but at some point, hopefully not too far off in the distant future. So if you've made it this far listening to me yammer on about these drones, I appreciate you hanging in there. Come on back. Hopefully I'll be able to present more and more useful material on this channel as I go and get more experience. And I appreciate you coming along with me on this journey. And come on back for another video really soon, and I'll see you then. Thanks again, Daniel, for letting me borrow your most awesome Mavic Air.